The first part of the animation view that we want to look at is on the top left-hand side in our toolbar up here. And in this toolbar, we have some animation tools that we can use to view, record, and work with our animations. And we'll identify what each button is in the toolbar, and then we'll actually put them to the test. We'll actually use them and see what they actually do. So the first one we see is the little red button. That first little red button right here, this is called our animation mode button. I prefer to call it a toggle because this is an animation mode toggle. We're toggling between our animation mode and our static mode, where we're actually either just editing and working with a level, or we're actually editing and creating animations. So by pressing this button, we actually turn on that mode, and we actually start to create keyframes and animations for the objects we're working with. To the right of that, we have a play button, and the play button does just that. It allows us to play the animations that we create. It's also a toggle button, so if you press it to play, you can also press it to stop the animation. To the right of that, we have our step buttons, and these are going to be stepping forward and backward on the keyframes in our animation. This allows us to just go from keyframe to keyframe instead of every single frame in the animation. It makes it a little bit easier to work with your animations this way. To the right of that, we have a text box, and in the text box, we can simply type in the actual frame that we want to go to, and then it takes us to that frame. To the right of that, we have our add key, and this simply adds a keyframe to whatever point we are on the timeline. And next to that, and the last one we have, is our add event. The add event allows us to add an event to the timeline, and this event is something that when our object gets to that point in the timeline, that event gets played. That event is a script, and then whatever function that script has, then that's going to be called up, and whatever action is required would happen at that point.